is going, nothing is disappearing. But in terms of investment, by the time you say you want to take some amount of money and put into something, especially if it's a high risk investment, the money can disappear forever and leave you in, leave you feeling depressed, just like myself. There was a time I made such a decision. Maybe I did not do my due diligence, and I risked with a lot of money and lost a lot. And ever since, I was telling myself, you know what, let me play. I know it's not mmm. Let me play it safe, but now playing it safe also has its own downside, because if you let's use money for example. If you're playing it safe, you put money in your account, inflation is going there, dollar is increasing here and there, your money is definitely just losing value, in the bank. It's losing value in the bank. If you're talking about risking it or playing it safe in terms of other things, you find out that you're not really growing, you're not pushing yourself, you're not getting better, you're just playing it safe, and then you can't even test yourself to see how far you can go. Well, today I'm asking you. They say the greater the risk, the greater the reward. How true is that? Is it really true that if you risk it all, you will gain it all? I want to hear your thoughts. What are your first-hand experiences? The new number for you to call on, because our current numbers are, inactive at the moment. But so new numbers you can call in on is 081 8888 113. Okay, I missed the number earlier. 0811 0811 8888 113. Again, the number to calling on to share your thoughts and be a part of the deep water conversation is 0811 8888 113. 0811 8888 113. 0811 8888 113. Would you play it safe, or is it better to play it safe or to risk it all? I'd love to hear your thoughts and your first-hand experiences in terms of business, in your relationships, in your friendships. What's it like to risk it all, and what is it like to play it safe? Which is better for our growth, as a person, for our personal growth. Why should we play it safe? And if you had risked it all before, and you have decided to start playing it safe, tell us why. Why have you now decided? What did you lose? What did you lose? How did you lose it? Do you even regret the feeling, or do you see it as a lesson? Is playing it safe really safe? They say, oh, playing it safe, not too. Is it really safe? Because in the long run, when you're looking at it in the long run, immediately, like initially, it might look like you're safe, but in the long run, is it really, really safe? Where are the callers in the house? Please do also calling. I want to hear your thoughts today on Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. Are you a risk taker, or are you a play it safer? I definitely created that one. Are you a risk taker, or are you a play it safer? I think I saw a call earlier on. Let me see if that call is still on. Hello? Hello? All right, the new number, I keep saying that, the new number to call me on is 0811 8888 113. Our numbers, Radio MFN numbers right now are inactive, so you can call us on this new number, 0811 8888 113. That's 48. That's 0811 8888 113. Are you a risk taker, or do you want to play it safe? Do you like to play it safe? Let's hear your thoughts on the topic of the day. We're talking about risk taking, and we are asking, is it better to play it safe or to risk it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like I said, there was a time, I was like, oh girl, you've been playing it safe for too long. I think I just turned, what did I just 24 or so? And I was like, ooh, for my big 25, I've been playing it safe with my money. I need to risk, make some risk. And then I just took all my money and I put it in an investment. Again, it's not MMM. I think it was an agricultural investment. I'm sure a lot of people can attest to this agricultural thing going on. There was this agricultural investments in quote, and I had a friend who I was doing it and making money, and I was like, oh, you know what? It's time for me to make some big risk in my life. I'm turning 25. Let me make some big risk. And then I took all my money, I put it in it, and Apparently on the app you will see that you are making money on the app. Like the app will show you that, yeah, you're making money. You'll be calculating it that, I can't wait for 9 months time so that my investment will finally give birth. My pregnancy would give birth to a bouncing baby boy with plenty money. Only for what was that? First they became unreachable for a while. Then you now go online and start seeing newsletters about, how your money is gone. I'm sorry. Why do I feel bad about this? I'm talking about it and I'm feeling the type of way. So I told myself that I didn't want to play it safe anymore. I wanted to risk it. Now I risked it and I lost it all. Imagine what I felt, how I felt, mentally, financially, emotionally, you know. I know some of you will say, oh, you did not do your due diligence. I did this time. I did. I'm talking about two different investments though. The first one was I didn't do my due diligence. The second time I'd already learnt my lesson and I did my due diligence and still. So if you say risk it now, risk it, the bigger your risk, the bigger your reward. Why should I risk it when I lost everything? And when you say play it safe, maybe I should rather play it safe because at least the money will still be there. This one, I don't have any capital, I don't have return on investment, I have nothing. I want to hear your thoughts, your first-hand experience on risk taking. And we're not talking about finances only, we're talking about risk taking in relationships, risk taking in business decisions, risk taking in everything. I want to know, is it better to risk it or is it better to play it safe? Where are the times where you've actually played it safe and it worked for you? Does playing safe really mean really safe? I asked that earlier. Playing it safe, is it really safe in the long run? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please do also calling on our new number. The number to calling on is 0811 8888 113. 0811 8888 113. Again, the number is 0811 8888 113. I've been seeing calls, I don't know, but it just blinks and disappears. So I don't know if it's a call or is it a flash. Are you guys risking it by flashing me? Don't risk it, oh. Hey, or are you playing it safe by flashing me? Which one is this one? Please do want to call. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the topic. Why is it that people don't like to take risk in life generally? Look around you. A lot of people are actually playing it safe. It feels like the poor keep playing it safe, while the rich keeps taking risk. I don't know if I'm correct on that, but yeah, you can call me on to argue that. It looks like the poor keeps playing it safe, while the rich risk it all. And somebody come and beg to differ and say, oh no, I've risked it too, and this is what came out of it. And someone will say, oh, I played it safe, and it worked for me. What is your story? Risking it or playing it safe? What is your story? Please do also calling on our new number. The new number is 0811 8888 113. 0811 8888 113. 0811 8888 113. Why is it that majority of people like to play it safe? I think I kind of understand why. I can relate, because playing it safe is just the easy thing to do. You feel safer. You have nothing to lose. You don't wake up depressed or trying to figure out your life, after making such a huge decision or taking a big risk. What is the biggest risk you've ever taken? I just saw that blink again. Let me take that call. Hello. Hello. Oh yeah, of course. I keep seeing this blink. I don't know if it's from our end or you guys are flashing me. I know you will not flash me. Deep Water's audience, they don't flash. They are passionate. They want to talk, and they're calling and talk. So I think this must be a technical issue or something. But I'm still asking, why is it that a lot of people want to play safe? And I was answering that question based on my own experience, because you really have nothing to lose at the end of the day. But again, in the long run, when it's just playing it safe, in the long run, is it really safe? Because you might be playing it safe, and then one day you see your mates that have been risking it, making big risk. You are looking around, they are doing big things. Big things, Nemo, like, and you are there with your playing it safe small things. You are there in your own corner playing it safe, so I really want to hear your thoughts, guys. Why you should take risk, why should one take risk when it's so much easier to actually play it safe? Because playing it safe actually, gives you peace of mind. Let's not even lie. You are mentally sound, your mental health is active, you are okay, you are at peace, nothing is disturbing your mind, because the money is where it's supposed to be. The question is now, when you choose to play it safe, and then you think you are playing it safe, and then you come out and realize that it's not even okay to play it safe, because it's in that your safety that some people will come and scatter everything for you. Have you not seen situation where people put money in banks, and then somebody defraud them or something? I don't know. Somebody, your money is sitting jeje in your bank, and then you wake up one morning and realize that maybe somebody has cleared your accounts. Hey, God, I beg. This is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. We're asking, is it better to risk it or to play it safe? What is the biggest risk you've ever taken in your life? Was it worth it or was it not? What is that one big thing that scares you the most, that you're like, ugh? Are you at the edge of making one decision? Are you at the verge of making one decision, and you're saying, should I play it safe? Should I risk it? Should I risk it? Should I play it safe? Should I risk it? I want to know. I want to hear your experience. Please do well to calling. Again, the numbers to calling, the new number to calling on is 0811 8888 0811 8888 So let's quickly go on a short break. I need to be sure that these phone lines are actually active. I saw blinks, I saw your calls, but it feels like it's coming in as a flash, so we'll have that sorted out in a bit. This is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. Let's go on a short break. I definitely have a special guest with you. Is a personal development strategist who'll be helping us dive even deeper on the topic of the day. This is Deep Waters. Don't go anywhere. Don't risk it, oh. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. It's 4:54. It's 6 minutes to 4 p.m. or to 5 p.m. Sorry. So to have you join us. And so far we've been talking about risk taking, and I've been asking, is it better to risk it or to play it safe? And I know some of you have interesting things to say. Sadly, I don't know, we're having a bit of a technical issue, but the new numbers you can call us on is 0811 8888 113. 0811 8888 113. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your first-hand experiences, on risk taking. And I was asking us earlier, what's the biggest risk you've ever taken? We do well to calling. And if you want to leave your thoughts, you don't want to call in, you want to leave a comment, you can go on our live stream on YouTube, Silverbed N24. Silverbed N24. Click on the live button and you'll see a place where you can actually comment. So if you really want to drop something and you feel like the phone lines are giving you stress, just go on there, drop your comment, and I'll make sure that it's read on here. Ladies and gentlemen, I have with me a special guest in the house. He's an exceptional leader and someone who's a personal development strategist, a creative content writer, electrical engineer by profession, a brand designer, an international inspirational speaker, a young person counselor, an educator, a purpose-driven coach, and a consultant. Wow, this man is definitely a man of many hearts. And of course, I can't wait to hear all his thoughts on the topic of the day. He has helped to impact positively and to build visionary individuals and to create epic solutions with a sense of purpose to, utmost potential. I can go on and keep telling you about this special guest of mine, but most importantly, he is a founder of the lead tutor of Heritage Global Membership Institute. So did I get that right? An international mentorship school where where he equips and raises people through training, coaching, mentorship, and to reach their full potential in leadership, influence, and impact. Somebody who's definitely very self-aware, and he'll be helping us understand the topic of the day, risk taking. And of course, With me in the studio is Joshua Adara. Hello.
Hi.
You have to speak louder.
Okay. All right.
So good to have you in the studio.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Give me a moment. Let me take out this cough from my chest
Alright.
because it's very risky for me to start this conversation without coughing.
It's worth it.
All right, I'm better now.
All right.
All right, so good to have you in the studio. Thank you so much for coming.
I'm welcome.
All right, so let's get into the topic of today: risk taking. So far I tried to risk taking is like the name implies, to take risk, to play it safe. But from a strategist perspective, what is it really? What is taking risk? What does it look like?
I want you to know understand in this life that there's nothing called progress except taking of a step forward. And that is one like risk taking is chance. That is it's a age old debate and which has been often going on and on right from the onset before our own generation, and everything we need to do it also has a positive outcome, and also the backside of it also has a negative outcome. So risk taking is something that takes action. So if you don't act on it, you will either win or lose, 1 or 0. So that's one thing about risk taking. It is only those that has visions and go towards what they are going to do that will make them to know that if I put in all my best into this, no matter all that I have, empty all that I have to get what I need, then I know that along the long run I'm going to get a output, meaningful results from it.
I hear you loud and clear, but I don't think that risk taking is, or is it all about action, so to say? Because if we're looking at playing it safe, for example, playing it safe is also a form of action. It's just that it's an action that doesn't make you go all the way and say you're giving it all, or you are, it's a selective action when it comes to playing it safe. Playing it safe is also action. You're
Oh
taking
yes.
an action, but you are selective about it. But with risk, you are not selective. You are saying, you're just looking at maybe the reward, the big reward that's coming, and you're deciding on it. So from your own perspective now, would you say it's better to play it safe or to risk it?
From my own perspective, I see it depends on the person visions and goals. But mostly importantly, you need to take risks once it comes to life and business. You take risks so that all that you are looking onto, if you have because taking risks when it comes to personal development, it involves risk taking. So it need to be bold, need to be strategic, and need to take calculated risks in order for you to grow and to be progressive.
As somebody who is a strategist, what are the, can you share with us some of the risks you've taken, and did it all lead to rewards, or because risk will allow you're setting yourself up to be burnt, sometimes.
Oh yes, it have involved in so many risks taking because as is from the onset, I don't depend on many people. I don't depend on people. Let me say that because I build up myself as a student pinion
Okay.
before I gain admission. Because once things fall apart in the family, I have to make sure that I have to put in all my best so that I can able to become who I'm destined to be. So I take so much calculated risk to the
Like
point that
like what?
in this aspect of
What's the biggest risk you've ever taken? A life-changing risk?
I life changing risk is in putting in all the cash I have left with me for personal development for master class. So I worked 7 to 7 that time before I gain admission. So that time the work has been so hectic. There's nothing for you to get so that you can able to feed yourself. But at that moment, they do pay us that time every 2 weeks, and by the end of that 2 weeks, the following week you'll be given certain amounts of money by the amount being paid by that organization. So at that week ended. I'm a kind of person. I'm a social. I do work with my phone, so they do see me pressing my phone all the time, and I do follow up those influencers, those great minds that are also related to that my vision and mission statements, because I've written everything down and working towards them so that I can become who I've worked towards to look onto. So I was so determined to the point that I need to make sure that I need to register for this master class and get myself equipped so
Wait,
that
so
I
you
can.
took all your money
So and I took all
and
my
then
money left after I've received from that work for that master class.
wow.
So and it's worked in a good turnaround for me to the point that after the master class, I was able to realize who I am and who I am and what I am.
So how did you eat the next day?
The eating the next day is not. I'm still staying with my parents,
Okay, okay, okay.
so eating the next day is not an
Wasn't a
issue for
big
me, big
deal.
deal for me. So
Okay.
I'm
So
able
what
to.
was the risk then here? Because you said so at some point that oh maybe you know there was nothing to feed on and all that, but now you say you carried all your money and so you had a place to sleep, you had food to eat. So what was the risk per se? You know the risk was just giving all your money, and since you still stay with your parents, that means you can still get some money
No,
from
I
them.
don't get some money from them because I'm a person also whereby in the point that all the things needed also is being requested from me also. So before they can able to do anything in the family also, they also look up onto us because so that we can able to feed the family. But along the long run, we have to make sure to let them know that this is what is going on, this is what is going on. So we have to just starve ourselves away. If it's 3 square meals, sometimes we have to just take it once. And
So what's sorry to cut you there. So what did the master class? What opportunities came from out of the master class?
the
You know that made you feel like that was a good risk.
though that at that point, I've not been able to identify myself. So, and that master class involves personal development, career, and leadership development. And in that master class, if when I undergo it, yeah, I was able to realize who I am, and I was able to launch the angel in me to so that the world can know who I am, and the world can able to look onto me and able to get what I have. So there is a value inside of us that if we don't release it out, they will not know exactly the person you are.
Interesting.
So that is why I let out the angel in me, which is in me and for me. So I need to let it show forth so that I can able to get what is needed
I mean
for
that
me.
that makes sense because imagine if you were playing it safe and saying, you know what, I can't carry all my money and put it in a master class. You probably would never, realize the angel in you, like you said, But would you say that it's harmful? Is it safe to say that, playing it safe is harmful to our personal growth? Is it always harmful?
Most times it's harmful because it can lead to stagnations. And if you are not careful, you are saying you are playing safe, you have losses most times, and you will not be able to get to the point of getting rich to what you are aiming for. Because if you are playing safe, there are some things whereby you will not able to work towards. If you are looking at let's say anything that just come my way, I will just take it like that.
Yes.
But if you don't go out there, they say there is more outside of your comfort zone, so you need to reach forth for it. So don't remain there in your comfort zone that thinking that there will be manna from heaven. So you must make sure that you stretch out, stretch yourself, and be stretched, and that's how you can get it done.
I hear you loud and clear, and it's easier said than done. You say, oh, play. As easy as it sounds about you, carrying on your account money and just putting it in the master class. Somebody's out there thinking, oh, I need to move further. Oh, I want to do a course, and this is all I have. And if I release this on compared to you now, you still had a place to stay, you still had food
Oh
to eat.
yes.
This person might be taking care of themselves and be thinking, how am I even going to survive? How am I going to even move to the next level? But they've been playing it safe all this while, and they're thinking, oh, I need to move on to the next level. So I hear you loud and clear. It makes sense sometimes, but how do we know when, because I feel like there's some situations where you need to actually play it safe, or risk losing it all, because it's not every risk that brings reward. Would you
Oh
agree with
yes.
me?
Yes.
So how would you know the risk that will bring rewards?
The risk that will bring reward is one thing is to identify yourself first. If you don't identify yourself and know what you are going for, you just follow the masses. That's why you don't work with chickens. You need to work with fly with eagles, fast with eagles, so that you can able to get to the top on time. So those in your environment also matter most, because risk taking, yeah, when we're playing safe rather, this aspect, it determines this in the area whereby you are the only one and you don't know where to go, you don't know who to look up to,
Yeah.
don't know where to start from. Then the next thing for you to just to first identify yourself. Once you identify yourself and know where you are going to and look forward towards that, then you need to make sure that you start moving close to those that has the same vision and mission with you, and that's how you can able to get it. Sometimes, most times, it involves rendering service, that is volunteering yourself. So once you volunteer in the in the area of volunteering, you're able to get something whereby people are paying for free. So volunteerism is a profession itself, whereby you give yourself to people to use you. So once they use you, what you are looking for, that said you need money to get it done, and anything is not money. So it is once you release yourself to them that you see that they will see that this person also needs to be developed in this area, and you will get it done in that
Tell me
aspect.
about one time where you made a risk, a huge risk, and it didn't turn out to be rewardable.
There is
Or you want to tell me all your risk, led to who you are. Everything was perfect.
Not at all. I can remember then in my 100 level, when I was so stranded. I have to just go through what I call it, this cyber cafe down the school hostel there. So just to tell them that, okay, that time the school need students are to submit their O level results, and they need to submit it through scratch card, and buying the getting the white scratch card and the nickel scratch card. I have to just go there to meet the man, last with him that I'm putting this down, so you give me in bulk, so I have to sell this so that I can able to sustain myself in this aspect. But this part, gotten it with few money I have then, man trusted me that I'm going to pay him back, because he has been seeing me going and coming through that street, and see that I'm the kind of person that I can depend upon.
Okay.
So I took that scratch card to school, introduced myself, tell them that intro this. If you want to get this at affordable price, you can get this from me. So they were all coming to me that I should please give it to them, that once they receive money from home, that once they get this, they're going to return it back to me. Also,
So you started giving
I
them.
started giving them. So I don't know that their house I'll be on debt. Not knowing that they were able to get. And some took the money away, some did not even remember to
my
give me. I'm the kind of
God.
person, I don't ask money from somebody once you get something from me. If you don't pay back immediately like that, it is only if you know that you are owing somebody, you have to come back to the person and say, see, please, so give me so time.
Oh, so you not left them,
So I
Abby?
just leave them like that. So that is how I just have to struggle back to pay the man. So I
Oh my
took
God.
took
So
the
what did you learn from that experience?
what I learned from that is that everything's not about give and take. So you need to just make sure that you are strategic. So be bold and don't just be loose.
No, okay, be bold and don't be loose. Because if we're looking at the situation now, you made a good choice. You by collecting those things. So you made a risk, also by giving it out to people, as they buy, but they were buying on credit, so to say. That was a risk. You made a good choice by also collecting it and saying you wanted to do business. You were bold,
Yes.
so to say. But people do businesses in this way where they buy on credits. They just look for means to try and curtail anybody that will not repay the money. Maybe they follow up, or they tell them to drop something of theirs as collateral or something. So would you? So I mean, from your perspective, maybe could it be that maybe you did not do due diligence?
Oh, see, you can say to that.
Eh?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
you probably did not do due diligence, and maybe you were young, and all that. But I'm sure you learned that be bold, but don't be loose. Don't
Yes.
let. If not, when it happens now, you now start blaming risk and say, it's risk that caused it, or it's the risk I took. No, you did not, do your due diligence. You did not take precautions, and all that, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the situation now. You could have just told them to maybe drop some amount of money, you know, and then, or maybe, I don't know. There are ways that business people do these things, right?
Oh yes. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for sharing that, though. It was very eye opening, you know. So, how do you personally decide whether to, how from your own personal perspective, when you're about to start a situation, how do you look at it and say, oh, this is a situation where I want to risk it, and this is a situation where I think I'll play it safe? Because I feel like a lot of men in terms of gender, in terms of business, they risk it, and then in terms of relationship, they play it safe. You know,
Yes.
as why is that?
Yeah, looking at that, you think of business. When you talk about risk taking involve uncertainty. It is uncertain. That is, you can either see positive outcome or negative outcome. You also have what we call potential loss, and this aspect is something you don't just rely on, but just have a plan B. That if this is not going
Okay.
to work through,
Mm-hmm.
this is going to work through. So that you don't not just relax that
Yeah.
this thing is gone. So
Mm-hmm.
let me just relax. I'm not going into it again. Let me just sit back. Let me give up. And it's not about giving up. It's about staying up. So you must not just let it go like that. And it's also involve what we call there's danger in it. So,
Yeah.
so there's danger. So, and this can also take life sometimes, and you must make sure that you must be too loaded to be frustrated. So if, because if you are not loaded, you will just be down, and you will not bring yourself up. You will not able to get to the place you are working towards to be, and you're not able to become who you are destined to be. And
I,
this aspect also,
okay.
when you talk about risk taking in that aspect of life, it's also called challenges. It challenge you to come out of yourself, to let people know that this thing is possible to be done. And because if you don't come out and raise your voice and let your voice to be heard, you won't be able to be seen. You won't be able to be seen. So that is why there's this saying that growth will cost you, and not growing also will cost you. So you need to choose your growth. So if you are not growing, so it is this aspect you have chosen, so for you not to grow. So this aspect, those who you are looking onto, because every beautiful butterfly has a story to tell. So those who you are looking onto, that I see that this person is this person is that, but you don't know what they have passed through. So because they have taken time and challenged themselves to become this person they ought to be. And this aspect also, risk taking also, it brings opportunity. So opportunity, and it's be said that once it comes, it may never and can never be regained again. So that is why you need to just make sure that you put in all your best to get
So
it
how,
done.
how do you handle fear? That fear that you said that risk comes with uncertainty. So how do
Yes.
you handle the fear and the uncertainty when you're faced with a difficult decision? How
So
did you handle yours, especially when you are looking at a major decision? You're afraid, you're uncertain, but you're saying, I don't want to. Should I play it safe? Should I risk it? If you're playing it safe, you just be there, mediocre, stagnant, and you say, I want to risk it, right? So, but I'm afraid. How can I overcome that fear?
you can overcome this fear in this area whereby you come to yourself. Most times, everybody are always afraid of one thing, with the point that if you do this thing, the results will come, and also fear will come upon such a person. So what will happen in that aspect is that once you see this situation that becomes or befall you, you have to just humble yourself, sit back and relax. So most times, fear is false evidence appearing real. So there are things that are things that are not true, but they are appearing real. But you have to make sure that you are stable, so you don't
Like you're in control.
you are in control, so you don't let this
The
to bring
fear.
to bring you down. So that's why you have to control yourself. I said it that if you are not loaded, you'll be frustrated. So that's why you need to make sure that you equip yourself. You know what you are doing and know where you are going to. So no matter what may come or befall you, you have to take your stand and you will not
You just keep
fall.
saying loaded, loaded, loaded with what? With food
Not
or
with
with
food.
water?
That is why when we talk about training, seminar, masterclass, coaching, all these things, it means that you are sharpening your axe.
Okay.
So once you are sharpening your axe, this aspect, because you can't just come from nowhere and say that you have arrived and let people say,
And say you want to take
no, I
risk,
want to take risks,
and then
and
you
this
start
is
crying
like,
later.
so you have to make sure that you have started sharpening your axe. So once you sharpen your
What do you mean
axe,
sharpen your axe? You like get information or
yes, got
what?
information. That's why you
Because
need
we don't
to.
understand all these your motivational
Okay,
terms.
this aspect is this aspect. That's why I say that you need to, after attending trainings, coaching, masterclass, summit, conference like that, it means
Yes.
you are sharpening your axe.
Okay.
So you don't just wake up and say that you have a vision. God spoke to me, and
I can take
I
this
can take this
risk.
thing risks. Let me started doing this thing.
Uh-huh.
That's why you need to make sure that you meet someone that is far ahead of you, that is also in line with that your vision and your mission statements, so that you can able to accomplish. That's why I say that you can only go far once you are the only one, but once you involve two people in that situation, you go faster. So that is it. So that is why you must make sure that you get yourself loaded in that area of training, conference, seminar, and master classes. And this is how you can get
So
yourself
what if I
equipped.
don't like master classes? I don't like seminars. I don't want to be hearing motivational, aspire to inspire, and aspire.
That's why we have consultation.
Okay.
So that's why you go for consultation. And
Like
consultation,
coaching and
yes.
therapy and all
So
that.
in that aspect, so that I can help you to not to be misled, and not to misuse yourself, and not to miss the way. So
Okay.
that's it.
Do you think the ability to take risk changes with age as you grow? Do you think that as people grow older, they take more risk or they play it safer? Which one?
As people grow older, they take much risks. Because looking at that aspect of gambling, also they have to make sure that they put in their they put in all that they have, just to make sure that, because they know that if they try it, it's either they win or they lose. So they try as much as we see, no, irrespective of their age, position, gender, they have to make sure that they put in all that they have, so that they can able to get something back, because they know that once they put in this amount, they are going to get this amount back. So they have already seen the game thing of it, and they know that if they get themselves used to this, they are going to see a positive outcome from it. So that is why it doesn't mean whether you are growing to this age or not, or there's no age bracket
Yeah, there's no
for.
age bracket, but I feel like when you're younger, you you are saying that when people grow older, they take more risk. Me, I'm saying that when they are younger, they actually take risks too. In fact, someone who is young doesn't even have anything to lose. They're putting in money here and there. They're not thinking far and wide about the future, and all that. So I feel like, personally, when you're younger, you even take more risk. It's when you're older that you're trying to play it safe, but you are saying the other way around.
You know that most especially in this our present dispensation, mostly those we look onto, like our fathers, mothers, most of them, they don't have the opportunity we have during our own time now. So they are trying to put in their own possible best also, so as to be able to acquire what is needed for them to find a balance. But we see that only few of them are playing it safe, but most of them are putting in taking in much risks to make sure that they get it done for their children and for those that are around them, because they don't see someone to depend upon again, because they have to make sure that they try their possible best to get this done. Move here, move here. You see, they can do more than one activities in a day, just
That
to make
makes
sure that
sense.
to get something done for them.
That makes
So
sense.
that's it.
But now let's move away from business and all that in life. Let's talk about in relationships. In your relationship, what do you do personally? Do you play it safe or do you risk it?
When I talk about relationship have different aspects.
I'm
It's
talking about intimate relationship.
okay, intimate relationship. That aspect, I don't have much to say in that
You don't
part.
have. I'm talking. Asking you personally in your personal when you're having relationship. Well, you've never been in a relationship before.
I haven't been in a relationship before because I don't want anything like distraction. So so I have to focus on myself. Yeah, this is
Joshua.
sincerely speaking. So I won't involve me because I'm brought up from a Christian background
Okay.
and a Bible believing church, whereby we are very devoted to make sure that we focus on where we are going to before
Interesting.
we able to divert to where it is needed to be.
So
So that's it.
when it's time for that, will you risk it or will you play it safe in a relationship?
That aspect, it
Oh God.
I don't know.
Joshua.
Oh,
Prophet Joshua in this point.
okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters, and I've just had Joshua Adara, personal development strategist, and more. Helping us to understand the topic of the day, risk taking. And we've been asking so far, is it better to risk it or play it safe? I would have loved to hear your thoughts today on the topic. I saw a lot of blinks, blink, 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 blink. But I would say maybe it's from us. Maybe we are really having technical issues on our phone lines. And of course, I also give you guys new numbers to calling on. But apparently, I still cannot see. I can just see blinks like you guys are flashing, but apparently, I know you guys are not flashing. It must be from us. So, sadly, we've come to the end of the show, and we've been able to, learn one or two things about risk taking and asking, is it better to play it safe or risk it? And of course, Joshua Adara here says, it depends, right?
Yes.
So what are your final words on risk taking and playing it safe?
You see, risk taking is not that you need to be reckless. So you have to. Let me bring it like this. It comes to everything. All comes to personal development. So personal development is a journey, and you don't have to be reckless. So, as I've said earlier, you just have to be bold. You have to be strategic, because you see, what are your strategies once you are doing anything? What are what are the strategies you have in anything you are doing, any
Like you have
business
to
you are going
look at all the downside,
yes,
like all the
yes,
possible outcomes,
yes.
right,
You have
of the
to,
risk.
yes, you have to look at that area. So I need to also take what we call calculated risks. So you need to have, because this is willingness to take it, to take that calculated risk, we eventually amount to your growth and progress.
Okay.
So that is very important.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people do not prepare before taking risk. So when it
Yes.
happens, they be like, "Oh, is I took risk?" Blah, blah, blah. Maybe if you do have done extra precautions, but there are times when you do all that and still, it turns out sour. But
yes.
but you know that you have put in your best. You've tried plan A, plan B. You always say to have a backup plan too.
Yes.
In terms of taking risk. And so if you have all those things on check, either in your relationship, in business, in your life, and you've tried to see all the possible outcomes and probably have a backup plan, then your risk taking might not be very bad at the after all, right?
Oh, yes.
Interesting.
That's
How can
it.
people find you on social media, Mr. Young coach, young professional coach?
Okay, you can get connected with me on my Facebook handle, that is Joshua Daragos Heritage.
Okay.
And also on my Instagram, that is Joshua _H _Hadara, that's on Instagram.
Okay.
And also on my LinkedIn, same Joshua Hadara God's Heritage on LinkedIn. And Twitter, same rated to my Instagram, that is Joshua _H _Hadara, as on my Twitter.
Okay.
So
All right, Joshua Adara is a young professional coach, and more. So you can, reach out to him, and in case you're a young mind or an old mind and you want to be inspired, and mentored, by a coach, a young coach, please do reach out to him on social media, to be a part of his community. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I
Thank you.
really appreciate. Thank you for taking us to the deep waters and back.
I'm humble and honored. Thank you.
And to you, my listeners and viewers, I'm super super sorry that you could not reach onto the on the phone lines. Reach out to me on the phone lines today. I saw a lot of your blinks, and I'm super super sorry. We hope that by Wednesday the phone lines will be ready and available for you, so that you can actually reach out to me. I can hear your voice, because I also do not enjoy the show as much when I don't hear your voices. You make the show worth it. Right here on Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. Please do not forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at deepwaters_podcast. Deepwaters_podcast. I'll be live again on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Have an amazing day. Bye bye.